Do I like pinning my sub to the floor and covering him in bodily fluids? I'm so sorry for anyone listening to this for the first time.
Sweet Jesus. What do we mean by that? Oh, my good Lord.
Should we do a role play? This first listener dilemma is from Matt. Dear William, Jordan, PB, and Diageo too. I mean Diego.
Oh, Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. I can't do the Diego's God if I've not got my braces in. Gives me a bit lisp.
My query is this. Is raving...
Oh, I'm a bit queer. Oh, query. Sorry. I was third. You carry on.
My query is this. Is raving and misbehaving in your 30s acceptable? I recently attended a rave in Manchester with some friends, and while there were some great shows/sets, at one point the bass was so extreme I found myself wondering where the nearest defibrillator might be located should I need to access it. I managed to endure until midnight when the urge to get back to the hotel to brew an Earl Grey and return to a resting rate of 70 beats per minute got the better of me. I'm only 31 and love a good night out, preferably in a pub, but I think that may have been my last rave for the foreseeable, if not ever. So when do you think is the right time for one to hang up their glow sticks? Hope to hear from you. Best wishes, Matt.
Matt, this is a fantastic question.
Over to Radio 1's Jordan North.
I'm very similar, right?
Oh,
so
really?
I had a lot of friends that... First of all...
You could have ended the sentence there.
First of all, it comes naturally, like when you just stop raving and misbehaving. Now, I haven't been to a club in probably since pandemic. Yeah.
Where's that one?
I'll go to bars, but I've not been clubbing in ages, or even using the term clubbing. I'll never say never.
Oh, what do you say then?
I'll go going out. But I've been to bars, and I've still been out on the piss loads, but my raving and misbehaving days are behind me. However, I still like a festival. I still go for a big weekend.
Yes.
I still, I'm thinking about hoping to go to Glastonbury this year and stuff, so I'd still rave that
Are you
way.
going? Yeah.
Are you going as well? But I'm very similar.
Anyone going to ask me if I'm going?
I'm 30. I'm 32. And
yes, you are now 32, aren't you?
Yeah, and I was looking at everybody on Instagram, like New Year's Eve, going out. Loads of our friends were going to that. What's that big gay party on New Year's Day?
The big gay party on New Year's Day.
There's one in London, there's one in Manchester that everyone goes to.
Sink the Pink?
I don't know, I can't remember anyway. So there was loads on, and I was going through all these Instagrams.
Oh, roast. No, is it that?
No, I don't think it's that.
I've seen a few people go to roast.
I bet you have. I bet you've been there. Anyway, I stayed in. I was like, couldn't be better. I stayed in on New Year's Eve.
Right.
Because usually I work it. Usually I'm on Radio 1. And I worked this, and I stayed in, and I watched Sam Ryder on Thingy. I told everyone I watched Jules Holland to sound cooler, but I actually watched Sam Ryder.
Isn't what Jules Holland watched the dads watch?
Yeah, but it was good. I flicked one when Self-Esteem was on. And New Year's Day, just went for a walk and a few pints, and I couldn't have been happier. So when your day's up, you'll know naturally. It sounds, what's he called?
Matt.
It sounds, Matt, that you're pretty much there. It sounds like you're getting there. And just own it.
Yes.
I still go out. I still go to the pubs. I was hammered over Christmas.
Yeah, but I think there's a difference between going to the pub and having a few too many sherries than going to a rave. I have never been to a rave.
I've been to a few.
I can't comment on raves.
I still want to go to festivals. Gigs.
Oh, I do have a friend that went recently apparently to a day rave.
Yeah, they're all the rage. That's what that was on New Year's Day. I forgot what it was called. Anyway.
Oh, maybe it was that. Maybe it was a friend that we was. My friend probably went to that one as well. Our friend Chris.
Is that the one where Chris? Yes, it would have been that.
Yeah.
Do they dress up as dogs or something? Is that one?
No, I think we're back to roast.
No, there's one where people wear dog masks. Have I made that up?
I think that's roast, darling.
Each to their own.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. Unless it was a corgi. No, that sounds wrong.
Next question.
Okay, this is from Abby with an I. Hi, William and Jordan. My family are from Newcastle, and
man.
And we are thoroughly middle class.
So they're from Northumberland.
As Geordies, we are known for our distinctive accent, but in a misguided effort to sound posh, my mam mispronounces so many words. For example, instead of Copenhagen, she says Copenhagen. Instead of chimney, she says chimneyère. And instead of hugely, she says hugely, etc. You get the idea. It is hugely irritating and has now become a running joke in our family. I've tried to point it out to save her embarrassment, but she's adamant her way is right. Should I continue efforts to correct her but risk starting an argument every time, or just let her continue to publicly embarrass herself with the ridiculous pronunciations? Thanks, Abby.
Abby, again, talking from experience
How many conversations do you have to talk about chimeneas in Copenhagen?
But it's just Wendy does this, and you can tell her a million times, but it falls on deaf ears. So just give up.
Well,
so,
you mispronounce words, and it's endearing.
But Wendy says alcohol, she says alcohol.
Right.
And that every time.
She said too much of it.
I've had alcohol poisoning. Then, but then I think for a while, Wendy was trying to get middle class when we moved to Penwitham in Preston.
Oh, it's home of the middle class.
It's like very suburban.
All of a very what?
Suburbial. I don't know. What's the word?
Suburban.
Suburban, that's the one. Great example. I just remember coming home from school one day and she had a go at me because I said spuds. So we weren't allowed to say spuds anymore. It was potatoes. I'm like, give over.
You're not allowed to say it. It's gratin pomme dauphinoise.
Yeah. She once had a go at me for saying scran as well.
Scran? What does that mean?
I've never liked scran, to be fair. Food.
Food.
Gotta get some scran. Scoff as well.
Right.
So
There's someone in my extended family who calls the typical Italian mince pasta dish lasagna, which I quite like.
Oh, where are you on spag bol?
Well, I like spaghetti bolognese.
There you go. So my advice, Abby, is you've just got to go with it. I've been there, done that.
And Abby, we've said this so many times on this podcast, although not recently, if you are going to correct somebody and you're correcting them in the nicest possible way, you either do it in a podcast where you publicly humiliate people over their pronunciation or grammar in letters, or you take them politely to one side and away from other people, you say, Mum, in this instance, it's pronounced Copenhagen, not Copenhagen.
Yeah.
For example, rather than correcting her in front of others.
Okay, Abby, I'd say just try and ignore it. Just next one.
Dearest, why is the producer has got such a smirk on his face because he knows what I'm going to have to read now, having just read the first sentence. Dearest William, Jordan and Ben, help. I'm in a sub/dom relationship.
Oh, God.
It's a tale as old of time, really. Boy meets boy, boys go on date, boys decide they're better off as friends, boys realise that friends can play in the bedroom together. Boy asks boy if he can call him sir. Sir ties boy to the headboard and drips candle wax on his nipples and spanks him with a belt.
Happy New Year, everyone.
I have lived a comparatively vanilla life up until now, although I have enjoyed internet entertainment of this nature over the years. I won't deny that I've revelled in being called sir by my sub and have taken great pleasure in having someone who must submit to my every command. Over the few months that this has been going on, I have been eager to try out all manner of things, some of which have been suggested by me and some of which have been his.
So is he the sub? Or
No, I think he's the dom.
Okay.
Do I like pinning my sub to the floor and covering him in bodily fluids? I'm so sorry for anyone listening to this for the first time.
Sweet Jesus. What do we mean by that? Oh, my good Lord.
Should we do a role play? Do I like it? Do I like it when my sub lights my cigar and then kneels before me to receive slaps to the face? Don't do that. Do I like some sadistic pleasure in standing in food and having my sub lick my feet clean? I'm so sorry about this. However, he has begun making suggestions that fall well outside of my comfort zone. I don't even want to know what they are. The tamest and most podcast-friendly examples include requesting that I use him as an ashtray, begging to be locked naked, bound and gagged in my car overnight, and doing torturous things to various parts of his body.
Jeez, I've gone cold.
I have refused, of course, to do anything I'm not comfortable with. However, my sub's disappointment is palpable, and worse still, he refuses to take no for an answer. What should I do? Should I try out these more masochistic acts? Should I sit him down and remind him who's in charge? Should I admit defeat and face up to the fact that I'm not a true sadist? Or has his nagging been so disrespectful to my authority and boundaries that he should be given the boot? Metaphorically, of course, because otherwise he'd probably enjoy it. Many thanks for your help in advance, sir. We can always suggest he goes to Roast in London, because I believe that all goes on.